You know we be with it, we off in the hood like some wizards. Nobody ever gave us anything. Missed something from nothing, just like magicians. Gotta relearn everything. Just to remember that I was forgetting. Just to remember that we had a vision. Did it all, don't know how I did it. Time to go star season to go and you know those crystal truths. Let them know we in here, yeah, we in the building. Star season to go and you know those crystal children. Back up in the matrix, yeah, we know the vision. Star season to go and you know those crystal children. Let them know we in here, yeah, we in the building. Star season to go and you know those crystal children. Back up in the matrix, yeah, we know the vision. Off on the mission, you know how it goes. Off in the system, they turn up their nose. They took all the soil, but they didn't know. Through the concrete, you see the roads. Eyes ain't open, don't mean I ain't woke. Ain't got no cash, don't mean that I'm broke.
Welcome. Welcome in. It's time again to connect with the unknown. Not just the unknown out there in the ethers. The unknown, that quantumness that's within you. That's knocking at your sacral, knocking at your root, knocking at your solar plexus, knocking on your heart chakra, tapping on that throat chakra, tickling your eye, your first eye, I call it. Everybody else calls it the third eye, but the first eye, I call it. Right? Take what resonates. Leave what doesn't. Ra has not come to lead you astray. Ra has come to give you information. You get to take what resonates for you. You get to let everything else that doesn't resonate with you, you get to let that fall away. Your relationship with your inner you, that higher beingness that's connected to the divineness of all that is and all that is not saying that you have to believe everything any entity shares with you. Because that entity is a part of the divine, an infinite part of the divine. No matter what we learn, no matter how much of what we learn, we will still learn more. So sit down, take off the seatbelt, let yourself float. You know how they tell you to put the seatbelt on and enjoy the ride? No, unbuckle that seatbelt. Let's rise. Over to you, Marcus. Sorry, it muted itself.
Some technology things happening.
Some technology things are happening. Okay. So can I go ahead and talk to them a bit? Are we live on at least the YouTube platform? We'll be patient. Technology is nothing but energy, and energy is here to serve us.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, everybody. Just little technical issues going on. But
Yeah. Even I've got some technical issues on my Instagram side because it's not live there when I click
yeah,
it.
it seems that Instagram is no longer connecting to StreamYard or something. So I'm not sure.
Yeah. It's all
Well,
right.
anyhow, we are here and we are present for this episode, The Law of
Yeah.
One, Raw Material. And we are on episode 61 now in this beautiful journey. And we have explored many wonderful different perspectives that Ra has channeled for us. And we have covered many different figures, ranging from Yeshua or Jesus, as well as even to the extreme of Adolf Hitler as well. And along with this, we've also learned about many of the different chakras, the different rays of light, and also even the connection between Central America and Egypt, as we learned through Ra, that those two great civilizations, as well as others as well, that have these cosmically aligned structures, has been aligned with the teachings and the passing down of the law of one knowledge that Ra has came and brought to this earth. So it's pretty fascinating. And today is also the peak of what is the lowest full moon in the past 20 years, 20 to 30 years, I believe. So this is the lowest that the full moon has been to this planet when it has come to its lowest point in the past 20 to 30 years on this strawberry full moon in Sagittarius. And for those of you that are curious of what Sagittarius means, Sagittarius on this full moon is representative of progression, its direction and forwardness. It's also independence, self-sustainability, and your ability to move forward, achieve, grow, and change through your own self-igniting with the fire sign of Sagittarius. So that's what's being amplified during this full moon that we are in, this strawberry full moon, that is. And that is why I kind of chose this background today. The Mesoamerican temple, the sun pyramid, we got the full moon, and then a little bit of red for the strawberry energy. Just wanted to represent the energies for today and bring it more into our space. So I just want to thank everybody again for being patient and joining us as we begin to travel and continue into our journey of the Raw Material Law of One, book number 3. And before we begin, I'm going to give us a nice little recap and explore 2 weeks ago where we had episode 60.
You see the ropes, eyes ain't open, don't mean I ain't woke. Ain't got no cash, don't mean that I'm broke.
And you're merging. You're becoming. You're shifting and evolving. Like we've said since episode 1. Wash, rinse, repeat. A multi-dimensional being, and there's many facets to you. The spirituality of us has never been taught to us in the way that it's opening up now. And it's not going to be the exact same way for each of us. I am not going to be exactly like Marcus. Marcus is not.
Shamanic Egyptian astrology. And the reason why I pulled this out today is because we are in the midst of the closing out of the Gemini new moon. Codes forgotten. It is time, however, for our collective memory to be awakened and for us, once again, to open to the messages transmitted from the skies. Ashe. And back to you.
Transmitted from the skies. We are a receiver and a transmitter.
That's right. A receiver and a transmitter. And with that being said, it's now time to be the receiver as I hand it back to Sandy.
It is now time to be a receiver. We transmit constantly, but sometimes, like my cards say, quiet your mind. It says, there is a direct correlation between quieting your mind and maximizing your intention. Quieting your mind gives you or helps you to create more space between your thought and your voice. It's not that your mind shouldn't be distracted. It's not that your mind shouldn't think. You were given the mind. The divine shared with me that the mind is in every cell of your body, and your brain is the unit that stores all the information that the mind is taking in and putting out. Ra wants you to use every bit of your mind, body, and soul. But sometimes it's okay to just quiet it. It's okay to sit in stillness. It's okay to consider your third eye and what your third eye is showing you. It's okay to open up to your feelings. It's okay to slow down to your center. It's okay to stay open, to set sail, and to surrender all at the same time. Why? You're multidimensional. So as we start, remember that you are multidimensional. Here we go. The questioner asks, when the Orion entity who waits us seeking the opportunity to attack is with us here, can you describe his method of coming here and what he looks like and what his signs are? Last week we left off talking about the Orion consciousnesses, that they're seeking to serve us because they are consciousnesses, but they're seeking to serve us based in the negative polarity. They can only serve you if you allow them. They honor free will. So if your free will is having these thoughts about negativity and aliens out to get you or such, that's when they can enter your realm, and that's when they can work against you because you give them permission. Now, most of us do this without the knowledge of it because we're sifting and sorting through the negative polarity all the time. It's all around us. We were given the opportunity to utilize the negative polarity in order to find our GPS to positive polarity. You tap into the negative polarity of what you don't like, and then go, oh, I want to go to where I do like something. I want to go to where it's comfortable to me. I want to go to where I love this, and I felt that. I don't like that. That's not comfortable for me. And you get to move. But when you're in the negative polarity, and and your negative polarity becomes your beliefs, and your beliefs become your truth, and you're inhabiting that energy, that and whatever that story is, they're going to be that for you. That's the Orion group. That's the game that they came to play. They were invited to play. Earth consciousness invited them to play in the whole experimental process of shifting and evolving in form. They just decided that they did not want to do it in human form, but that they would be our story. So the questioner is saying here, what do they look like? That's a very good question, right? Can you describe his method of coming here? What does he look like, and what his signs are? I know that this isn't too important, but it might give me a little insight into what we are talking about. Ra says, I am Ra. Fifth density entities are very light beings. Although they do have the type of physical vehicle which you understand, fifth density entities are very fair to look at upon your standard of beauty. The thought is, what is sent for a fifth density entity is likely to have mastered this technique or discipline. There is little or no means of perceiving such an entity. For unlike fourth density negative entities, the fifth density entity walks with light feet. This instrument was aware of extreme coldness in the past durational cycle, and spent much more time than your normal attitudes would imagine to be appropriate in what seems to each of you an extreme warm climate. This was not perceived by the instrument, but the drop in subjective temperature is a sign of presence of negative or non-positive or draining entity. This instrument did not mention a feeling of discomfort, but was nourished by the group and was able to dismiss it. It had it not been for the random mishap, all would have been well. For you have learned to live in love and light, and do not neglect to remember the one infinite creator. So basically, there are signs that you can know when these entities, I call them consciousnesses, are around you, right? But remembering, you hold the power. You hold the power to either allow them to play with you or not. They have to honor free will. If they come to play here, whether they take a body or not, they have to honor free will. The questioner asked, then it was a fifth density entity that made this particular attack upon the instrument, meaning the instrument that is that Ra is channeling through. For anybody new coming in, Ra says, I am Ra. This is correct. The questioner says, isn't this unusual that a fifth density entity then would bother to do this rather than sending a fourth density servant, shall I say? I am Ra. This is correct. Nearly all positive channels and groups may be lessened in their positivity or rendered quite useless by what we may call the temptation offered by the fourth density negative thought forms. They may suggest many distortions towards specific information. And then there's a comma, so we take the pause. Towards the grandizement of the self, towards the flowing of the organization in some political, social, or physical way. These distortions remove the focus from the one infinite source of love and light, of which we are all messengers, humble and knowing that we, comma, of ourselves, comma, are but the tiniest portion of the Creator, a small part of a magnificent entity of infinite intelligence. I'm going to leave it there and give it back to Marcus because I think he's like rocking in his seat, right? To learn more about what we call the Orion group, to know more about what is that they play a conscious role in the story here. Back to you, Marcus.
That was very fascinating how it talked about 5D a little bit and 5D consciousness. And yeah, it's really intriguing to hear it get brought up and see the perspective from a sixth density of, you know, what fifth dimension is and what fifth dimensional embodiment looks like. Because you hear a lot about it in our 3D world. You know, you hear a lot about 3D versus 5D and things like that. And with that, you get a little bit of propaganda, you get a little bit of everything that comes with it in the third dimension. So it's pretty nice to hear that clarity from the sixth dimension, especially if you're someone that already kind of picked up on those kind of things and just needed that little extra confirmation from a higher perspective. So I've been feeling called, and I'm not fully sure exactly why, but I've been feeling really called to focus on the throat area today and a little bit of yesterday as well, the throat chakra. And the throat chakra is a throat chakra center or energy center that helps you with your ability to, number one, express your emotions and express your creative energy into the world. Not only that, but your throat chakra is also where you're able to communicate and deliver messages through your energy and out into others and out into the world. Along with that counter, it's also where you receive and you discern the energy and information that comes into your space. So it's an excellent energy center for holding space for others, or when you need to discern and feel the energy in your environment or that's coming into your field. The throat chakra is your main center for that. So with that being said, with the throat chakra, a little bit about it too is that it's associated with the color blue. And it is also associated with the frequency of, if I believe correctly, let me actually look. I think it's 639, but let me check. So it's 741. So 741 is the solfeggio frequency. that naturally resonates with the throat center, the throat chakra. Now, ways that the throat chakra can become blocked in our everyday life, and ways that we can have symptoms and tell that it's blocked, is when we are struggling to voice or express our emotions that are coming up to express, or if we struggle with communicating. And with that, this could result from something in the past. This could also be associated because of, threats in the past, ways that have you suppress and reject your own authenticity, your own expressions, your own emotions. Those are all ways that we can block our throat chakra. So, with that being said, today, um, I do these things I call raw rising codes. And each one I do is a creative exploration of different guides or different spiritual energy to connect with, depending upon what the intention is or the energy of the raw rising code for that day. So I started a new series in this raw rising codes, and I'd love to share it with you guys here in a moment when it gets finished downloading. And this new pantheon or new series that I connected with, I feel like you guys will definitely resonate with, and you guys may have had a lot of fun, curiosity, and connection to this pantheon as well. Yeah, Lula. And welcome in, Lula. Thank you. Throat chakra love with the hearts. And yes, 741 hertz for the throat chakra. And good to see you, Queen, as well. Rhonda and everybody else that's tapped in. Thank you for being here. And for those of you that are new, feel free to comment and be a part of this conversation throughout the episode. Wow, it's taken a while. So, since that's taking some time, I'm going to go ahead and actually play a little bit of my throat chakra singing bowl for you guys for a moment. And then later on in the episode, I'll play the raw rising code for you. So, that being said, just feel free to consciously open your energy field to receiving if you would like to receive. And I'm going to go ahead and play a little something something of this throat chakra singing bowl, just to help loosen up that throat center and clear out any blockages that could be there for you. So feel free to just focus on breathing deeply through your throat and just allowing yourself to surrender and let go of any stored emotions and energies. Continuing to breathe deeply through our throat center. Surrendering and letting go. Breathing out. any memories, experiences, any of the past that may be attached, that may be causing blockages or resistance, from allowing yourself to flow in our natural waters of life, breathing and letting go. Just taking in and remembering that we are safe, we are beautiful, and we are worthy of our vulnerability so that we may share and enlighten ourselves and each other through our strengths and through our wisdom and co-creations. Ashe. Just allow yourselves to return at your own pace, and you may open your eyes or you may just sit and meditate while we hand it back to Sandy and we continue forward.
From the book, The Masters in New Energy, the divine wanted me to read this. The master explores all facets of energies. The rock has a consciousness, as do you. Everything is conscious. There are many facets to energy. The master understands that the rock has consciousness, just as the master does. Water has consciousness, just as you do. You are the master of your journey. It seems haughty to say, I'm a master, but you are. Master does not mean perfect. It means that you decide with this vessel that you have, with this, you decide when your throat chakra opens, you decide when to use it and when not. Once my throat chakra healed, I had to learn something new as a master. That just because it was free and whole doesn't mean I had to use it all the time. There was a time where I needed to take a pause to actually be an active listener and see when this vibrational energy needed to be expended or not. Because guess what? When your throat chakra opens, it's open to all of you, including your egoic personality. It's powerful. The rock has consciousness. So do you. You may think that the rock just sits there and looks like a rock. But it has consciousness because it came to be the rock that you will walk by, pick up and say, oh, look, this is so beautiful. I want to take this home, because it was part of your experience. The rock has consciousness. Your throat chakra has consciousness. You just get to use it. You get to wield it. Like Merlin wielded his wand. Your throat chakra is your wand. Your heart chakra is your wand. Your 3 lower chakras are now your wands, because now if you're tapped into your heart chakra, you're online. You're fully online. You're a powerful master of you. Let us keep going. All right. The questioner says, if there's something that this instrument could do, or we can do for the instrument to alleviate the problem that she has, that she continually experiences of the cold feeling, please share. And Ra says, I am Ra. Here we go. You could cease your attempts to be channels for the love and light of the one true creator. I love it because Ra just said, you keep asking what we can do for her. Marcus got that. Ra had a funny. The questioner says, have I missed anything now that we can do at all to aid the instrument during, before, or after the sessions, or at any time? Ra says, the love and devotion of this group misses nothing. Be at peace. There is some toll for this work. The instrument embraces this, and we could not speak. If the instrument did not embrace it, we could not speak through her. So rest then in that peace and love, and do as you will, as you wish, as you feel. Let there be an end to worry when this is accomplished. The great healer of distortion is love. So Ra, Ra made it funny. Well, you can stop channeling. You keep asking the question. We keep telling you she's fine. We keep telling you you've done what you needed to do when you walked around her and you breathed life over her. We keep telling you, and you keep asking the question in a different way, as though Ra doesn't know that you're asking the same question. But that's okay. Ra gives love with the information. He shares the information again. So the questioner says, I have a question that I didn't properly answer last night for whoever the name was. It has to do with the vibration of the densities. I understand that the first density is composed of core atomic vibrations that are in the red spectrum. Red is root. Am I correct? Someone share with me in the comments. In the red spectrum. Second is the orange, etc. Am I to understand that the core vibrations of our planet are still in the red, and the second density beings are still in the orange at this space/time right now? And that's as of the question being asked as of this book being written, right? And that each density as it exits on our planet right now, has a different core vibration, or is this incorrect? Ross says this is precisely correct. Then the questioner says, then as the fourth density vibration comes in, this means that the planet can support entities of fourth density core vibration. Will the planet then still be first density core vibration? And will there be second density entities on it with second density vibrations? And will there be third density vibrations on it with third density third density entities with third density vibration? I am Ra. This will be the last full query of this working. There is energy, but the distortion of the instrument suggests to us it would like to take a short break with your permission. And the questioner says yes. Ra says, you must see the earth, as you call it, as being 7 earths. There is the red, orange, yellow, and there are soon to be a complete green color vibratory locus, LOCUS, for fourth density entities, which they will call Earth. During the fourth density experience, due to the lack of developmental or fourth density entities, the third density planetary sphere is not useful for habitation. Since the early fourth density entities will not know precisely how to maintain the illusion of fourth density, of that fourth density cannot be seen or determined for any instrumentation available to third density. Thus, in fourth density, the red, orange, and green energy nexi of your planet will be activated, while the yellow is in potentiation along with the lines of the blue and the indigo. May we ask at this time if there is any brief inquiries? The questioner says, is there anything that we can, of course, he asks about the instrument again. Ra says, all is well. You have been most conscientious. I am Ra. I leave you, my friends, in glory of love and light of the one infinite creator. Go forth then, rejoicing in the power and the peace of the one infinite creator, Adonai. Basically, Ra was saying, as humans, we picture, when we're looking at each of the densities of Earth, of the vibration of Earth, the first density is the red ray, which is creation, Earth being creation, volcanoes, the land shifting itself and becoming form. Second density is plants and flies, and all life begins to grow and semi-know itself. Third density is consciousness. We become conscious. Things become conscious. The animals, the humans that are, taking form and living and becoming. We become conscious, that maybe not aware, but conscious that we're living. Now, he's asking, the questioner is asking these vibrations, as we experience them as different vibrational levels, that these are Ra is saying you're trying to experience them as different earths. They're different consciousnesses. 4D beings, for the most part, can't be actively present on a 3D level actively, but they can be consciously aware. And they can be simultaneously living side by side us. At one point in time, if you go read the divine design, 3D beings, 4D beings, and 5D beings were sharing Earth consciousness, her body, all at the same time, just in different dimensional shifts. Back to you, Marcus.
That is such good information. Yeah, it's so fascinating. And something that kind of came to me as well a couple weeks ago was, although it may seem like animals or certain things are kind of limited with the physical bodies that they have here in this plane, but what I was gathering was that it's not that they're really limited. It's more so that they focus and they dwell more mentally in different dimensions than the third dimension, which is why it's not necessary for animals to build communities and skyscrapers and, you know, manage gardens and all these different things. That's for more of, you know, the human that is in the third dimensional embodiment. And just like what I kind of found was that, like, you know, cats and dogs, they're mentally focusing on a little bit higher dimensions than the third dimension, which is why it may seem like they're always seeing things, tapping into things. They can sense things that are clearly there in some type of way, but we just can't see it through our 3D senses. And it's really intriguing, because then you start to kind of like dissolve just like the phantom guesses of, you know, what it is that they're doing and what they're tapping into, and also seeing them as divinely intelligent. You know, we have been conditioned, I feel like, in like societal programming to look at animals as if they're like less than or just ignorant and just like not capable, divinely intelligent beings, and that they're just crazy when dogs start barking at stuff, or they act like they see something but we don't physically see something. You know, we just brush them off and act like they're crazy and that they just don't have an intelligence behind that.
Right.
So it's been fascinating just really tapping in deeper to what is the intelligence behind these beings and what they're doing. And there's obviously like a purpose and a reason and more of a blueprint to why it is that they're designed the way they are. And it's all divine. There's divine reason to that. So
Yeah.
I find that very fascinating. And I really like this topic that Raw is bringing into this discussion. And thanks to the channelers as well. So
Yeah. Thanks.
before we
Go ahead.
I was going to say, before we continue on, I was going to go ahead and play this Zeus Raw Rising code for us, and then we can continue forward. Oh boy.
Blue Tiger's Eye, Super 7 crystals, throat chakra, singing bowl, raw rising codes, Greek Olympians, Zeus, calling in the chief of the Olympians, God of the sky, lightning and thunder, rain the storms of light into my life to clear, restore balance and order to my mind, body, spirit complex. I am allowing your lightning and thunder and justice of truth to be at play with my faith within my being. I am trusting in my innate connection to the Eternal Father as the Father is in me, and I am in the Father. I am holding integrity, values, and healthy boundaries as I continue to serve for the highest good of all. I am in alignment with Zeus.
Ooh wee.
Ooh wee. Ooh wee. Ooh wee. As we grow, let's see, was waiting for a black cat to come into my field yesterday. They appear in the evening. The name Zeus. Ooh.
No way.
Ooh.
Wow.
We are vibrational. Some people call it magical. Some people call it, they can go to their religiosity or their spirituality or whatnot, but it's all the same energy, whatever our labels are. And when Ra mentions the fact that we see when they're talking about the different densities and energies and vibratory, the red ray and these different the first density and the second densities and these growth patterns, they don't stop being so that you can have another. They don't take a lesser position. They're part of the growth and the expansion of everything that is and is not. Just like Marcus was saying, the animal kingdom, yes, it came first. It came as part of what science might believe as a limited consciousness, but it wasn't limited. It had growth and potential to it because it was energy that was growing and becoming, learning its environment. The trees didn't just stop being two-dimensional. They didn't just stop at 2D and then everything else that's growing in 3D as human beings started to occupy it and become conscious of itself, conscious of the living of itself. Everything has a cycle of growth and expansion. So for us, when we get to the part where we are now in the 3D duality form of living, but our capacity has grown and excelled into 4D consciousness, we are now consciously looking at everything in the 3D realm, duality realm, with different consciousness. You start to understand. I understand when my dog stares off and looks at something behind me or alongside of me, and then speaks to me with his bark or whatnot. I go, what? What are you trying to tell me? I'll look around. I'll see. And then, somebody might come into that his peripheral vision, or I might get a breeze or feel like someone touching me or whatnot. Our animals are very, very conscious and aware. They're not stuck in 2D. They're part of the life experience as we grow and we expand. If we can do it, they can do it. Matter of fact, they do it better than us because they are always, cats, dogs, animals, the birds, fish, all animals, great or small, are in the now moment all the time. They are not, the only time that they are not in a now moment is if you pull them out of it with your intention. But once you leave that intentional space, they go right back into that now moment. So we begin section 63. This was done July 18th, 1981. Ra says, I am Ra, and I greet you with love and light of the one infinite creator. We communicate now. Let's see. The questioner says, could you give me a definition of vital energy? I am Ra. Vital energy is the complex of energy levels of mind, body, and spirit. Unlike physical energy, it requires the integrated complexes vibrating in a useful manner. The faculty of the faculty of will, W-I-L, can, take the comma, to a veritable extent, replace missing vital energy, and this has occurred in past workings. As you measure time in this instrument, this is not recommended at this time. However, the vital energies are well nourished in mind and spirit, although the physical energy level is in and of itself low at the time. So you can have many different energy levels moving with you. You can have a very strong energy level in your sacral, but low energy level in your root. You can have very strong energy level in your upper three chakras because you tap into them more and it feels good, so you vibrate there good. But you can have different energy, lower energy levels. You're an energy being. You're triune and multidimensional. Okay. The questioner says, would I be correct in guessing that the vital energy is a function of awareness or bias of the energy with respect to his polarity or general unity with the creator or creation? I am Ra. In a non-specific sense, we may affirm the correctness of your statement. The vital energy may be seen to be that deep love of life or life experiences, such as the beauty of creation and the appreciation of other selves and the distortions of your co-creators, making which are beautiful. Without this vital energy, the less distorted physical complex will fail and perish. With this love and vital energy, or Elan, the word is spelled E-L-A-N, and it has a hyphen over the E. The entity may continue, though the physical complex is greatly distorted. Over to you, Marcus.
Wow. What a beautiful place to leave off on this episode of episode 61. And what I would like to close out with what was just stated and what you stated early on in this segment as well is the continuation of life. When we develop codependency and attachment, we may feel that true love or true unconditional love is someone always giving their time to us, or someone always constantly going out the way to do something for us, or to pamper us, or to coddle us, and things like that. But what's been very fascinating is like that paradox of the kind of like reverse psychology of it, where unconditional love, from a greater standpoint of the ultimate existence, so to say, is that eternal continuation, that evermore is continuous, changing and allowing experience to go from one form to the next continuously and eternally. And when you tap into that as unconditional love, then it opens up and unfolds and starts to break those barriers and limitations and other things that we may be placing upon ourselves. And what's very fascinating is like, again, we may feel like in our human condition and emotions that, God feels this way, or God's punishing me because I'm going through this experience and it's so painful and it's so tragic. And, people aren't slowing down to go out their way to help me and like stuff like that. But then when you step into that eternal power, that eternalness of what we are and who we are, the ultimate beauty and the ultimate power is that we have been granted the power, we have been granted the free will, we have been granted the spark of the Creator to be able to co-create, to be an alchemist with it. And we're always given this foundation, so to say, which is creation itself. And through that foundation, you're able to go through vibrations, experiences, octaves, and other different things that you want to label our interactions as, while knowing and even unknowing and forgetting that you'll still have this foundation that allows you to be continuous and eternal, because we are of the eternal and continuous energy, and all of existence is, as the all is the all, and nothing could be separate from the all, or else the all wouldn't be the all. So it's very fascinating. I've really been stepping more into that unconditional love space for myself, and the way that I hold space for others as well. Just knowing that, people are capable, souls are here to go through an earth school, so to say, multidimensional experiences. And also remembering too that people, well, okay, not people, but souls, spiritual beings, are not their bodies. So when we're identifying people as their bodies, we could go into like a victimhood for them and for ourselves, when they're the body, the mind, the spiritual energy, and the Creator all at once. And when we can remember that, even for dogs, for cats, and it's kind of like get away from the programming that they're these belittled beings that aren't capable and things like that, then we can start to see, oh, okay, this is another eternal soul that's going through an experience and chose to have this body for their experiences as well. And with that comes more grace, more detachment. And when I say detachment, I mean more detachment from having unhealthy attachments, and ultimately more inner peace as well. So I just want to kind of leave it off with that, and just give gratitude and thanks for the unconditional love of the Creator and this eternal simulation of life that we're in, and the fact that we can all be any spectrum, any degree of vibration. We could agree, disagree with anything, but it's all eternal experience and it's all valid. And I'm grateful for that.
I am grateful for that. as well. And we're on this glorious journey. Some say, oh, it's just a blink of an eye and then it's gone. Malokuane is soluku ushia to lame is sosonate e. Malady is say soloku unda e sheloku unta e natunda tate. Taste your life. Taste it. Mokwale se soloku ushia na tate e se senata ku atete unashia se. Taste your life. It's not perfect. We didn't come here to be perfect. We just came here to be and to become more of what we want to be. We came here to dip our toe in everything that is what one learns, someone else learns it just a little bit differently, just on a different timeline. If you must have a line, and it's okay. Some will say, don't jump the timelines. No, jump them if you want. Take that seatbelt off. Where do you want to go? Who said you have to have an airplane to go anywhere? I'm just saying. Now, don't go jump off a building. And don't say Soul Awakening told you to do that. No, there's vibrational movement. There's a reset button. It's called sleep. It's called nap. Climb the stairs of this Messel temple in your next dream session. Be the glory of you where you want to be it. Nobody gets to tell you what's right or wrong, what you can or can't do, or how you should or shouldn't do it. When you wake up to you, you decide if you want to stay awake. And guess what? You decide if you want to go back to sleep. I know I can never go back. I told my divine, once I know, I need more. I need to be on that deep dive. I need to keep doing it. I haven't come up for the proverbial air. I can't blame anyone but myself if I stay down there and I get deep and things get rubbing up against each other and triggering me. I was meant to be triggered because I was meant to take a layer off. All Ra wants you to do is do you. They give you the cheat codes. You get to use them or not. So let's see what Ra is going to say on episode 62. Same Wednesday time. Same Wednesday now moment. I hope you join us. Whew.
And with that being said, we close this sacred space, and may the information transmissions be exactly in their harmonious and perfect state. Honoring you, Danica, and honor to all of you. Wholeness and balanced love.
Wholeness and balanced love.
Are you ready to awaken, heal, and align with your highest self?
With a summer promotion that I have been working on. So if y'all are interested, just take a few moments, dive right in, and feel the energy of summer. Then you have to come back and recognize humility and accept that your actions and reactions and your thoughts, actions, and behaviors led you there through the 12 laws of universe, because of course, law number 1 was the act. Law number 2 was the reality you created based upon that act.
Oh, the Christ flame.
What a beautiful representation of humility. Now, did he not just...
Daily Heart Alchemy, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern. YouTube, Sacred Light Broadcast Network. Facebook, Heather L. Thomas. Scan the QR code today to get started to book and browse services with Heather Lynn of Heart Alchemy Wellness.